What if the real story of JFK's assassination was buried under layers of lies, misdirection, and silence? What if the truth wasn't just inconvenient, but dangerous? For decades, the official narrative has stood. Lee Harvey Oswald, lone gunman, fired 3 shots from a 6th-floor window, and history changed forever. But the evidence, the testimonies, and the endless stream of redacted documents tell another story, a story the government never wanted you to know. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most controversial and unresolved political mysteries in American history. These aren't wild guesses or internet folklore. These are documented facts, suppressed findings, and shadowy connections that raise questions too big to ignore. On November 22, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. That moment not only shook the nation, but also sparked an avalanche of speculation that has never stopped. The Warren Commission, formed to investigate the killing, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. End of story, or so we were told. Let's explore the secrets. Some are suppressed files. Others are ignored testimonies. All of them challenge the version of history we've been fed for over 60 years. Number 10. The CIA withheld thousands of files even decades later. Despite the JFK Records Act passed in 1992 requiring all assassination-related documents to be released by 2017, thousands of CIA documents remain redacted or completely classified. Why? What could still be dangerous to reveal after all these years? Researchers believe these documents may link Oswald to covert operations or expose intelligence failures, or worse, complicity. Even President Trump delayed the release in 2017, citing national security concerns. President Biden followed with similar hesitations. If the official story is airtight, what's so dangerous in these documents that they still can't be made public? Number 9. Lee Harvey Oswald's shadowy ties to intelligence agencies. Lee Harvey Oswald wasn't just a random ex-Marine with a rifle. He had defected to the Soviet Union, then returned to the U.S. with suspicious ease during the Cold War. Not only was he never prosecuted for defecting, but he was also welcomed back with minimal questioning. Researchers argue Oswald may have been an intelligence asset. He had connections to anti-Castro groups, pro-Cuba organizations, and even alleged meetings with CIA operatives. Some believe he was being manipulated as a patsy, an expendable pawn in a much larger game. Number 8. The magic bullet theory is scientifically improbable. The Warren Commission's case hinges on the so-called single bullet theory, which claims one bullet caused 7 wounds in 2 men, JFK and Governor John Connally, while remaining nearly pristine. That bullet, known as C-399, has become one of the most controversial pieces of evidence in the case. Ballistics experts and forensic scientists have challenged the trajectory, impact, and condition of the bullet. Many argue that multiple shooters were likely involved, and the magic bullet was a legal necessity, not a forensic reality. Number 7. Eyewitnesses heard shots from the grassy knoll. Dozens of witnesses present at Dealey Plaza reported hearing gunshots from the area known as the grassy knoll, not from the Texas School Book Depository. Several even ran in that direction, believing shots came from behind a wooden fence on the hill. The Warren Commission dismissed these accounts, but later investigations, including acoustic evidence from the 1979 House Select Committee, suggested there was a high probability of a second gunman. If true, this would directly refute the lone gunman theory and point toward a coordinated hit. Number 6. Jack Ruby's mob connections and mysterious motives. Jack Ruby, the nightclub owner who killed Oswald on live television, claimed he acted out of patriotism. But Ruby's background tells a different story. He had known connections to organized crime figures and had visited Cuba during the height of mob involvement in the casino scene. Ruby later told multiple people that powerful forces were behind the assassination and that he was set up to silence Oswald. His behavior in prison paranoia, refusal to testify publicly, and claims of conspiracy has only deepened suspicions that he was more than just a grieving citizen. Number 5. The CIA secret war on Castro and JFK's opposition. By 1963, the CIA had launched multiple failed attempts to assassinate Fidel Castro. At the same time, JFK was reportedly moving toward a détente with Cuba, even considering diplomatic back channels. This put him at odds with powerful elements inside the CIA and the anti-Castro exile community in Miami. Some researchers argue that JFK's reluctance to escalate operations against Cuba and his intention to pull out of Vietnam put him in direct conflict with military and intelligence leaders. The idea that factions within the government viewed him as an obstacle is no longer just conspiracy, it's part of the documented historical record. Number 4. Operation Northwoods reveals shocking precedent. In 1962, U.S. military leaders proposed Operation Northwoods, a declassified plan to stage false flag terrorist attacks against American citizens to justify war with Cuba. The plan included hijackings, bombings, and even fake deaths. President Kennedy rejected the plan, and it was never implemented. But the existence of Northwoods shows that high-ranking officials were capable of planning shocking deceptions. Number 3. Autopsy tampering and medical inconsistencies. JFK's autopsy at Bethesda Naval Hospital was riddled with irregularities. Multiple pathologists were inexperienced in gunshot forensics. The autopsy photographs and X-rays conflict with eyewitness descriptions from doctors at Parkland Hospital in Dallas, who reported a massive exit wound at the back of the head suggesting a shot from the front. Several medical professionals later testified that photographs and documents have been altered or disappeared. These inconsistencies have never been fully explained and suggest either massive incompetence or intentional cover-up. Number 2. George D. Mohrenschildt and the Oswald connection. George D. Mohrenschildt, a wealthy oil geologist with CIA connections, was a close friend and mentor to Lee Harvey Oswald in Dallas. He later told investigators that he believed Oswald was being manipulated by powerful interests. Just before he was set to testify to the House Select Committee on Assassinations in 1977, D. Mohrenschildt was found dead, ruled a suicide. His death, like many others linked to the JFK case, only deepened suspicions of a broader conspiracy silencing key witnesses. Number 1. The House Committee found a probable conspiracy, then buried it. In 1979, after a thorough investigation, the House Select Committee on Assassinations concluded that there was a high probability that 2 gunmen fired at President Kennedy, and that the assassination was likely the result of a conspiracy. This directly contradicts the findings of the Warren Commission. Yet, few Americans even know this conclusion exists. The media coverage was muted, the follow-up was non-existent, and the records remained classified for decades. The question is, why? The story of John F. Kennedy's assassination is not just a moment frozen in time. It's a mystery layered in redacted files, vanished witnesses, suppressed evidence, and institutional silence. 60 years later, we still don't have the full truth. And maybe we never will. Whether you believe in a lone gunman, a vast conspiracy, or something in between, the unresolved threads of the JFK assassination still tug at the fabric of American history. They challenge our trust in institutions. They force us to question who truly holds power and how far they'll go to protect it. If this video opened your eyes or made you think differently about one of history's most iconic events, hit that like button, drop a comment below to share your thoughts, and subscribe for more deep dives into hidden history and suppressed truths. Thanks for watching, and remember, the truth doesn't expire.